Okay, so this is my second video blog thing, whatever. I'll start off by saying I got new headphones and they fucking suck. My X11s broke last night. I got these X12s. I don't like them. Anyways, so I'll answer a few questions really quick, a few quick ones, and then I'm going to go into some detailed questions that were asked because I think people should know what they're bitching about most of the time, so they'll be able to realize that it's not really a big deal. Anyways, first one's what are your goals? For example, where will XenoBot be in 6 months? And that was asked by Maximo Santana. Well, it's going to be the best bot. It's going to be number one. It's going to take time to get there. Maybe not in the next 6 months, but in the 6 months we will definitely see XenoBot a lot farther than it is right now, because right now we're getting 100 daily users per month. This time last month, 630 people were using it per day. Now we're up to almost 740 people using it per day. So we're growing, and we're growing fast, and withstanding ban waves like XenoBot has been as good, if not better than any other bot has been, bringing people to us, and I think the trial version that I released helps as well. Okay, is self-heal randomized at a time, or how does it work? Asked by Stussy. Well, there's a randomization function in there. You set the range to 5, and that's within 5% it'll heal randomly, if not instantly. It's already there, bro. Okay, same person, Stussy, asked 2 questions, and these are the ones I'm going to go into detail about. So, you can see I have Oli open over here. I need to find an address really quick. Okay. Current documents, search. Anyways, I'll just scroll for it. Yeah, this is all the shit I have to update when I update. Okay, so essentially, I'm answering the question about X-Ray right now. Essentially, this is what Tibia does right here when it's printing player names. So essentially it's checking, it's looping, well, I guess. So it's doing a loop basically for every single creature that it knows about. It's checking if it's on the same Z position, that's the same floor as us, and if so, it's printing the name. The reason it does this is because it actually stores information about creatures that aren't on the same Z position as us. You can see that in Scripter. If you loop through every creature that's on screen, it stores creatures that aren't in the same Z position. Really, they are on the x-axis, back and forth. They're within 9 squares of us, because it goes 2 off screen in either direction. And then up and down, it shows creatures within, or up and down on the y-axis, north and south, it shows 7 to the north and 7 to the south tiles. It'll tell us where creatures are. That's actually accounted for in here too, and it does all the math here to check if the Y and X are actually on the screen and not on the 2 spaces outside. Another thing it sends is it sends on any Z position, unless we're above ground floor, it won't send underground floor. But it'll send every Z floor above us and everyone below us until ground floor, or if we're underground, it sends creatures on every single floor. And this can be shown by standing in the top of Theus Depot. You can see the people running around below you. It has that information. What's stopping it from showing their names is this if statement right here. This if statement. Well, it's not as easy as changing an if statement, but essentially, because when it compiles down to assembly code, you're looking at something like this. And so we're going to hop into Tibia here. The address I'm going to is the address actually patch. You see this right here. It says JNZ short. I can't zoom in on here, but it says JNZ short tibia, and then it's got an address, essentially. And what this does, I'll make this a bit bigger for you guys. So what this command does is it says, okay, if the expression we're currently evaluating is not 0, NZ not 0, then we're going to do a jump, which is what the J stands for, and we're going to jump to this location. And what it's checking is right here, this line, it's doing a compare, and it's saying, well, that's Reddit. Clicked the wrong thing. And it's essentially saying my Z minus their Z. And if it's not 0, we're jumping to this address. So what I'm doing is I'm taking this if statement out right here. When XenoBot injects, it does a nope, no operation. It replaces this jump with no operation, so it never takes that jump. It never happens. It'll always call this function, which goes in to print the name. That's the one for up and down floors. And then if you notice, XRay also shows creatures that are off the screen 2 spaces, because Tibia sends that information. And that jumps right here. It's the same thing, jumps past everything. It doesn't print the name. So XenoBot fills that with nopes too. And no operation means it will never take that jump. So it'll never jump away and say, hey, don't do this. So XenoBot's not injected right now. We can see that by looking at the client. But XRay is about to be enabled. I have no clue what this character I'm logging on is at, so bear with me. Okay. I'll log on a different character. You can see stuff under me, can see off my screen, can see people below me. It's really as simple as that. Now, you might notice it doesn't have the -1 and stuff by people's names like XenoBot does. I'm going to explain that in a minute. But yeah, it's as simple as that. I replace some of their code. And yeah, this is detectable, but the hassle they would have to go through to detect something like this is actually much more than they have to go through to detect something like RedBot or iBot or even just Xeno normally. Because what essentially happens, like I told you, it's an if statement. I got rid of it. They have an if statement written in code. It compiles down to this assembly code. They don't know where it's going. They don't know the addresses. They don't know exactly what code it's going to compile to. It's based on their optimization settings, their compiler, the way their code is structured, stuff like that depends on how it compiles. So it's not exactly easy for them in the code to say, okay, well, check if these 2 values right here are 9090. 9090 in hex is the nope operation. It's really all numbers. Nope, NOP is just a way to represent it. Anyways, they can't just go in here and say, check if this is nope operation, because in their code, they don't know where that's going to be at. They don't know what it's going to compile to. There are ways around that, using some inline ASM, maybe using some stack tricks, checking where the current operation pointer is, and then they could do like a call under it, and then in the function it's called, it could check the top of the stack for the return address, and then read the address right before that where the code is at, and they'd have to know what code is going to be there, so they'd have to compile, check, change it, hope it doesn't. It's possible, but it's a complicated process, and they don't do it, because if they did, I would see that. Anyways, so no, I'm not going to Tibia and getting information that I don't have, and then magically putting it there. Tibia gives that information, and I'm just making it show. I'm just disabling something in their client. Another question asked in the same tone is, well, we only see M-walls if they were cast on our screen. Why can we see players that are on different screens or whatever with XRay? Well, the thing with that is, players are updated all the time, creatures are updated all the time, so you can see them moving, outfits changing, their health changing, whatever Tibia wants to show you. The thing about magic walls is, they're sent once. So, if I'm on the screen and the magic wall is shot, I get this message to Tibia. Tibia gets a message that says, hey bro, we just added a magic wall in this square. Well, I can actually show you this. Tibia network. Here we go. So I get a tile add thing packet. Now I go here and I'm processing and I'm checking if it's a magic wall right here. And if it's a magic wall and it came up on my screen, I'm just setting the time on it, adding it to my magic walls. Not that hard to add it. Drawing it's a different story, but drawing the timer is a different story. Anyways, so if I get it when it's on my screen, I know it just spawned, it was just shot. But if I run onto a screen that already has a magic wall, sure, I'm going to get the packet that says, hey bro, well there's a magic wall here. The thing about that is, I don't know if that magic wall just got there, or if it was there before I showed up. So I can't really put a timer on it, because I don't know when it got there. I could assume it just showed up and put a 20-second timer on it, but maybe it didn't just show up and there's only 2 seconds left. Well, that's misleading. It's better to not have one at all than be fooled into the false illusion that there's 2 seconds left and you can make a move at that point in time. That's why don't show magic walls. As far as I said about the levels showing by people's names, I have a hook on their print text. Essentially what a hook is they have, or on their print name, I'll actually go there. There we go. It's easier, just Control F, search everything. This is the function that draws a player's name. I'm about to show you. I'm going to break on it. You see over here, it's drawing Naji. Play again. Some guy named Juan Assassin, some guy named Runnin, some guy named Old Blink, some guy named Loco something. This is where it prints the name above your head. So what I do is I hook that. Essentially what a hook is, I'm taking this right here, which says call and then a number. That number represents the function it's trying to call within Tibia. I take that and I change that to my number. And what my number refers to, it's not that long and it's not that number obviously. What my number refers to is a function within XenoBot. So Tibia's going here and it's calling an XenoBot function instead of its own print name function. Now I'm working with its print name function. I print right here. You can see my raw print name. I come in here, sterilize some shit. Not really sterilize, I guess. Make sure stuff is where it needs to be. Then I call my handler. And in here I'm looking what creature's name is being printed. Let's get some extra info about it, with its health and stuff. Now I'm checking if it's myself. If it's myself, I'll print the mana bar under the name and I'll move the, no, I don't move the name up. Anyways, this is just for light hack. This is for advanced info showing their level, whatever, if you look at them. And here you see if nred equals n blue and n blue equals n green. Those are the colors for the names to be drawn. And if red is the same as blue and blue is the same as green, that means they're all the same value. Well, all the same value means it's a flat color. It's somewhere in between black and white. It's got no hue. It's either black or it's white or somewhere in between, some shade of gray. Well, we all know names don't print gray. They, some shade of gray, 50 Shades Gray, fucking horse. It's some shade of gray, black or white. And so Tibia only prints names in green, yellow, red, dark red, or white, and white is when they're covered by a roof. So I check in here, I say, okay, if it's white, I'm going to print the X-ray offsets, and then I go in there. I have a different piece of code that I don't feel like finding because I can't remember where it's at, that will print the -1 or +1 by their name if their name is white. That's just a little addition I made to X-ray. I do have one other question. Do you have any plans on making the 3 square meter distance a bit more functional? Use a fucking search function, bro. What was the other one? Oh, I lost it. Anyways, yeah, I had another question I was going to answer probably just as rude as that one, but those questions answered. I really have nothing left, so ask more shit you want to know, and I'll keep answering. I still have to make that one I said where I'll write code to detect red bot and iBot. I haven't got around to it, haven't had time, but you guys will see that soon. Okay. Now I'm going to wait like a second because it cut me off mid-sentence last time.